All right, guys, we're here, Pro Body Tech. We're going to be doing biceps right now. We're starting with a drag curl. So we're using an easy curl bar, doing a drag curl. Show you guys how to do this exercise. Awesome way for someone like myself who has issues with their forearms taking over, kind of an isolation exercise. If you're not a big fan of the barbell curl, which I'm not, this is a great exercise that really isolates. Now, you're gonna have to use a lot less weight because again, you're isolating that bicep. You're taking out a lot of the forearm use, but it's an awesome way to get a great pump and a great mind muscle connection in your biceps. So we're gonna take a wider grip. We're up. Okay. Now you drag it up the body. Okay. You don't curl it in front, you drag it up the body. Hold. 2, that's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 more. All right, so as I mentioned, barbell curls are not something that I enjoy. I don't really get a great mind muscle connection with that type of exercise. Regardless of the weight that I use, I just can't connect with the biceps. I get a lot in my forearms, my brachialis, my wrists. I just don't connect in the biceps like I need to. And biceps not being a strong muscle group that I'm really trying to focus on, I want to make sure that I'm getting that great mind muscle connection. Today we're going to try to make sure we keep the rest period low, intensity up, and do some different exercises. Obviously today, starting with something new and unique, haven't done in our routine in a minute, the drag curl. 1. Traditionally with anything with my arms, I like to stick in about a 12 to 15 rep range. I don't like to get that much lower because it's our arms. Things like our forearms have to take over a lot. There's a lot of extra use. We use our forearms for a lot of different exercises, okay? Gripping for back, gripping the dumbbells for any kind of presses. So I just want to make sure that when we're doing things like biceps and triceps, that we don't get down to low enough weight where the forearms are drastically getting in there as well. So you're going to use forearms regardless whenever you do biceps. You're going to use forearms regardless whenever you do things like back, because there's a gripping component that's very important. But I want to limit the fact of needing to do that with some of the heavier weight. All right, let's move on. Last set. But 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 sets, 15. Well done. Let's move on. Next exercise. All right, so exercise 2 is going to be the preacher curl. Since we work with Luis, we're kind of focusing on doing this a little bit differently than we used to do. So we used to go all the way down to across the body. He wanted me to just focus on just doing the top half of this. So we're just working on the peak of the bicep, the top half of that exercise. And then what we do, to give you guys a preview of what we're gonna do on the third exercise, is that then we go straight into an incline curl, which is going to put it in an extreme stretch position. So you go from limited range of motion here at the top, and then the next exercise in the repertoire is going to be the incline curl, which is obviously going to put it through a much longer full range of motion with a stretch. Now we've warmed up with the weight that we're going to use. All right, it's 12. Next one. 1, 2, 3. 12 on the right side, 15 on the left side. You might ask yourself, why do we do that? For whatever reason, I say this in all my workouts when I do unilateral exercises. My right side is not as strong as my left side in these exercises, but my left side is not as developed. So I don't know why. It happens with my triceps. The side that's more developed is actually weaker than the side that is less developed. So I try to do more reps to help bring up that size of the side that is not as developed. So we're gonna go right into it. We don't need long rest periods. We haven't been using any long rest periods. These motherfuckers are calling these half reps. I just said it that I'm doing just the top half. Oh, bro. I got these motherfuckers on the side of me. Dude, motherfuckers. That's what you need in the gym. You need motherfuckers talking shit at you halfway through your set. Now, this motherfucker's wearing purple shoes, no purple atomics, so I don't know how much shit he can be talking with purple atomics on, but he's got a big set of balls wearing purple atomics. All right, next one. We're gonna try to stick with that. Oh my God. Good set. All right, so we're gonna move the camera onto the next exercise. It's gonna be our incline curl. Let's get it, let's go. All right, so after the preacher curls where we're doing a shorter range of motion, we're gonna go into the incline curl where we do a full stretch range of motion. Chest up. All right. One of the things that I also want to make sure that you're doing when you're doing the incline curl is your hands are open the entire time. You're not supinating. You're not starting in this position. When your arms are back and they're all the way behind you, supinating like this takes the stretch off of your biceps. When you keep your arms open like this, you're going to be in an extreme stretch position from the absolute bottom of the exercise. Why don't you want to supinate? Because this will make you rest. So if your hands like this, it will rest. If it's this, it will not rest. And any other range of motion. That is the whole point of this exercise. The previous exercise, we were doing a limited range of motion to just work on the peak of the bicep. And this, we are working the entire range of motion to make sure we're hitting all the fibers in the bicep. So 2 different exercises. Obviously, there's a big difference in weight variance from one to the other, just because you're using a shorter range of motion. We did about 12 on that one, which is good. We're gonna try to get it as many or more on this next one, and let's go. All right. Definitely tough. Okay, extreme range of motion takes a lot out. So when we stick with those short rest periods, definitely tough. Body's pumped. We're getting later in the workout and our bicep workout. We got the little Romeo. Come on camera, buddy. Wave. What do you want? This is what we do. This is what we have to do. When you're a dad, you want to work out? Mom, can't work out here. You're a little boy, but we'll work out at home. No. All right, go. You got to go over with Ava. You're not allowed to be over here on this side. All right, ready? Last one. Pick it up. Well. All right, so the next exercise we're gonna do is an underhand pull down, but with emphasis on our biceps. So we're not going to get any kind of lat engagement. That's not gonna be the focus. The focus is gonna be all on biceps. Now, the caveat to that is that secondary muscle groups like our forearms and our lats will be used, but the focus is going to be on our biceps. You can't ever really do anything completely isolated unless you're in some kind of machine that's fixed. Most of the time when you're using any kind of cable apparatus, there is going to be some kind of secondary muscles. So I don't want to hear the comments, oh, everything has to use other muscle groups. We're talking about focusing on the biceps. So we're gonna bring it down, squeeze. 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 3, 4. So I want to say something, guys, about building good relationships in life and building good relationships here at the gym. One of my best friends came in today, and I've talked about him a couple times, obviously making jokes, because that's how my relationships are with all my friends. But he came in today super excited. His son just got accepted into the fire academy. You know, you can see the excitement on his face because as a dad, I know this goes for many dads out there, is that we do everything for our kids. And then secondly, they've been working together for a length of time. He drives yachts and his son has been working with him. You know, the bittersweet part to that is that he knows that once his son goes to the academy, he's not going to be able to work with his son. And that's something that they've been enjoying over the summer. And that's a tough thing in life, is that you give everything for your kids so that they can be successful, so that eventually they can live their lives. Which means to a degree that that is going to limit the amount of time they're going to be with you, but you're setting themselves up. So as much as it hurts as a parent, I know that he is proud, and I'm proud of him for being an awesome dad. So just wanted to tell you, my man, but you're an awesome dad. Your kid is amazing. We had a great time on vacation, and that's what life's all about, man. Putting the time in with your kids so that when they're 18 and they have a girlfriend, they want to hang out with you. And that's what his son did. He could have just been out there doing riffraff, doing stupid shit, but he was out there with his parents on vacation and with my kids having a great time. And that's what life is all about. My grip was slipping a little bit. Just wanted to make sure I could get a few extra reps, focus on those biceps. It's a great workout. I love working arms now because I'm starting to see that progress that I've gotten with my chest and my shoulders. So it's a muscle group I hated working out. I still don't connect with it as well as I do with other muscle groups, but I'm getting there and I can see the progress because I'm really address the shortcomings in my training. I tell you guys, get the feedback. When you're not getting the positive feedback, you got to change things. So if you're not getting the pump, change the exercise, change the rep range, change the scheme in which you're doing things. And when you're getting positive feedback, you got to double down on that, okay? Don't just follow me. Don't just follow your favorite influencer. Don't just follow a program. Once you're seasoned and you're starting to see some things lack, you got to kind of go through all the different variations from how you prioritize the workout, when you put the workout in your week, how much sets, how much volume, how much intensity you're putting into it, rep range, intensity techniques, all those things. All right, last one. That's all she wrote. All right, so 4 exercises for biceps. Started with the drag curl, preacher curl, incline curl, and then the pull down curl. We're gonna move on to some triceps. Let's get it, let's go. Boom. We're gonna move on to triceps. First exercise we're gonna do is a close grip, easy curl bar push down. Push downs are kind of like a bread and butter exercise for triceps. In a sense, they're kind of like the curls, even though pretty much everything is a curl for biceps. The push down has multiple variations. All hit the tricep in a little bit different way. All are able to kind of utilize a little bit more weight if you're more using a bar as opposed to a rope. It's a close or wide grip. Just depends on how it feels for your elbows. At the end of the day, all the different push-up, push-down variations I think are very effective as long as you're executing them correctly. And then lastly, you're not putting your elbows in a compromising position. And compromising position means you're not feeling more of the weight on your elbows. So I can't tell you exactly where your elbows should be because that depends specifically on how tall you are and how long your arms are. Okay, so it is very tough unless I'm with you to be able to guide you into that situation. But you need to make sure that you are feeling more of the weight in your triceps and not in your joints, which are going to be mainly your elbows and your wrists. Get that weight down over us, and then we're going to push. 2, 3, 4, 5. B5. Good job. You use the bathroom? All right, I'll turn it up. All right, we're going to do a bathroom break. Oh, he has to do number 2, so it might be a while. Bathroom break is over for the little one. We're going to go back into it. Push down. There you go. You guys all know that I do biceps first because biceps is what I'm looking to bring up. But if you guys are just looking for bigger overall arms, the tricep takes up 2/3 of the arm size. So if you're trying to get bigger arms, you want to always start with your triceps. That will help you get bigger overall arms. But if it's specifically one of the other, you obviously want to train that one first. So for me, I want to improve my biceps more. They're weaker than what my triceps are. Obviously, I'm trying to improve all muscle groups, but the emphasis is going to be on the bicep. We're going to go right into it before we move into our next exercise. All right, ready? 1. We have 12 of these. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do is an old school exercise. Saw my boy Dennis doing these the other day, but something I learned from Rich Gaspari. It's a pullover into a tricep press. So when you're doing the pullover, obviously it's gonna engage some of the lats, but it does stretch the triceps, and then we're gonna press and do a close grip bench press. I like using an easy curl bar here. It's good on my wrists, and we're gonna go for that. We loaded up the weight. We've already warmed up. Let's go. All right, so we come down here, pull over, press, come down, press, down, 4, 5, 1, 2, 7. I'm never gonna tell you guys not to throw the weight in the gym. I've fucking done it a million times. When you lift heavy, you're not always gonna be in the best position to bring the weight down. So I'm not gonna be like, if you can't control it, don't lift it, because I would be lying to you guys. Be understanding that I've seen situations where someone's doing side laterals, someone's doing dumbbells, and they've exhausted themselves to a point, and kind of like in disgust, they throw the weight down. Guys, 30-pound dumbbells, bounce, okay? 30-pound dumbbells is not something that you need to throw down. Put the weights fucking down, move on. Swear, piss and moan, whatever it is, I don't care, because I've done it myself, where you push yourself to the absolute max, but those are the kinds of dumbbells. Anything on the top rack, you guys shouldn't be throwing down. Anything on the bottom rack, obviously you're pushing yourself to a situation where you could hurt yourself controlling that weight back into holding it and stuff like that. All right, last one. All right, ready? Move back a little bit in the seat. One. Down. Stretch. 1. No, Home Alone's a classic, bro. If you get to a certain age and you don't like that anymore, you don't have a pulse, bro. You need to go, No, I gotta get that with him. What kind of paradise? Here we go. We gotta watch the Goonies. As a high, I lost status. 1. So we're gonna finish the tricep workout with a stretch position. We're using a rope, and as you guys know, when I do the rope, everything is extending the rope, okay? So when we're doing it up here, we're gonna extend it out. If we always do it here, we're gonna extend it there as well. We're not gonna push it together. We saw a guy at the gym, just so you guys know, not that I have the best hairline, but this dude has a perfect circular bald spot at the back of his head, and that's why we brought up Home Alone, because he looks like Joe Pesci when he got his head burned from Macaulay Culkin. So don't be that guy, because we're coming for you. Nah, it's all in good humor. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do as many as we can with the overhead, and then we're gonna pull it up, and we're gonna push as many as we can down. Now, they're not gonna be perfect reps on The pushing part, we're just gonna try to blast as much blood into that area as possible. I don't like to do overheads with any kind of stuff because it puts your arms and your shoulders in a compromising position. So we're gonna flip it over and just do push downs to get as many as we can. All right, last one. Ready? Up. What? Oh, fuck. I'll get you up. All right, finish it up. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, fuck. All right, that's all she wrote, baby. Biceps done. We do 4 exercises for biceps, 3 for triceps, and that's all she wrote. Let's get it, let's go.